Hi, this is Paul Waters. You're watching Kitchen Rockstar on YouTube, all the way here from Ireland. Rock on.
International chef Paul Waters grew up in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and has been in the culinary industry for over 30 successful years. Traveling the world, Chef Waters has utilized his skills and has created some of the most decadent dishes. Using healthy ingredients, Chef Waters has not only developed bold flavors, simple dishes with visually appealing, vibrant colors that is not only appealing to the eye, but pleasing to the palate. Chef Waters humbly credits his inspiration to his grandparents that readily cooked healthy, delicious dinners for their large family. From his early teen years, Chef Waters states that he intensely watched the cooking techniques and methods that his grandparents displayed in their loving kitchen, all the while making delicious potato bread, homemade Irish soda, hearty soups, or tasty stews, all homemade with love from scratch. Being a dedicated chef, Paul has taken his experience and passion all over the world, working at the iconic five-star hotel in London, England, the Savoy, as well as Australia's one and only Sydney Opera House. Chef Waters has made special guest appearances on several media channels and platforms in the U.S., such as Fox News and the New York's Irish Examiner. Chef Waters is also an iconic columnist in many newspapers abroad: Global Interview, Dining in Dublin, Revive Magazine, Northern Revive, H&N Magazine, Morn Observer, Belfast Telegraph, and Sunday Life. Chef Waters has a following of over 17,000 and growing. You too can follow this international chef, Paul Waters, on numerous social media platforms such as LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and of course, kitchenrockstar.net. You can also find international chef Paul Waters' personal blog on Facebook, Simple Tasty Healthy by PW, which is the topic of our interview today on Kitchen Rockstar. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Laurel with Kitchen Rockstar, and today we have special guest, international chef Paul Waters. Hi, Paul. Thanks for joining us today. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Laurel. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Doing very well, thank you. We appreciate you coming on today. And first and foremost, we want to thank you for joining our Kitchen Rockstar Facebook group and interacting with our community members. We call all of our members rock stars, but you've been bringing a lot of beautiful dishes to the table. We appreciate the recipes and all the interaction that you've been giving our members. So thank you very much. Tell us a little bit about what you have been able to create and bring to the table.
Well, every day I like to create something new. And I always believe it or not, I look at the Rockstar page, I see some people's amazing food, and I say, that's inspiring. I think I could do something like that. Because everybody on the page has got their own style, their own presentation, their own touch. And I can also say some of the food that I've actually seen on the page is probably one of the best pages I've seen on Facebook, because it is outstanding. There's a lot of members on there who I would look at and I would respect quite a lot and say, that's absolutely amazing. They call themselves not chefs, but my personalised food that they do will pass off in any kitchen because it is outstanding food and they should be very proud of themselves.
Absolutely. We have a very diverse group. We have home cooks, pit masters, we have backyard grillers, chefs. And one thing that is really, truly inspiring that I think that you bring to our group is the fact that you bring beautiful dishes, not only beautiful, but they're simple and tasty and healthy, which leads me into ask you about your personal blog. Tell us a little bit about your page and what you have to offer on Simple, Tasty, and Healthy by PW.
Well, it all started off. I'm chef and been a chef now for 31 years, and I've been lucky. I've worked where I wanted to work all over the world. And during COVID, during lockdown, I thought to myself, I need to do something. I need to make an improvement. I want to get my food out there. So I decided to set up a blog, set up my page called Simple, Tasty, Healthy by PW. I was coming up with different names, like Simply Delicious and a lot of different names, and I thought Simple, Tasty, Healthy by PW. That's different, because the food is simple, it's tasty, it's healthy, and it's made by PW, which is myself.
I love that. So, Paul, tell us where you're from.
I come from Belfast in Northern Ireland. It's the capital of the North. It's well known for its past through troubles and conflicts throughout the years, but it's also known as for the best hospitality in the world, for Irish hospitality, for welcoming everybody from all over the world. We all love to sing, we love to dance, we love to joke, and we also love to cook.
So this is Kitchen Rockstar. What kind of music do you like to listen to while you're cooking? We got to have a little fun while you're cooking. Cooking should be fun. So that's why Kitchen Rockstar, we really get involved with a lot of music. We're musicians here. And it was kind of, the concept was kind of derived from, cooking at home and listening to some music, playing some music, but again, just having some fun. So what kind of music do you listen to? Who are some of your favorite musicians and bands?
Well, first of all, cooking should be especially when you cook at home. I cook for a living. Cooking is also my hobby. So when I cook professionally in my own kitchen at work, I get stressed. But when I come home, I relax. I stick on the music. I would stick anything on from Bruce Springsteen to Metallica to AC/DC to a little Irish band called U2. And when I cook, I sing, I dance, and that's where I have my fun. That's where I have my enjoyment.
Well,
I'm not the greatest singer.
We want to see you cooking and dancing in your kitchen, Paul.
I may not be a pretty sight, but you'll see it one day. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, we're just having fun. So tell us some about your magazines that you've been writing articles for, some of the newspapers and things of that nature.
Well, I first started over 3 years ago. I put a post up on a social media site called LinkedIn, and a newspaper editor in New York called Paddy McCafferty, who was a big inspiration to me for his work that he did for the Irish community in America. He has a paper called The Irish Examiner USA, and this guy got in touch with me. He says, we love your food. Would you be interested in doing something for us? So I thought to myself, well, I love America. I love the American people. I love everything about it. I love New York. So I thought, well, why not? So I sent off something thinking it was good, but it may not be good enough. So with my surprise, within a week later, I got an email to say, your food is in the paper. You should have a look. And I looked at it and I was just like, wow, that's amazing. That's incredible. So to me, I thought, well, I can do more of this. So once I reposted this on LinkedIn, this is my food now in the Irish Examiner. I was all excited. A lot of people commented on it, loved the food, and newspaper editors here, magazine editors got in touch with me and says, look, we love your food also. Do you want to do something for us? So I was like, right, okay. So I did something for these other papers and magazines, and before I knew it, it just built up and built up and built up and built up and built up. There was a lot of magazines and a lot of newspapers that I was doing every fortnight, and still continue to do every week and every fortnight for different newspapers and magazines throughout the world.
That's incredible. So a little bit about your back history. How did you get started into the culinary industry, and who were some of your major influences?
Well, I first started cooking when I was 17, and I used to watch my grandmothers cook, and they were a huge inspiration because they would make bread from scratch. They would make a lot of soups, a lot of stews, a lot of stews, a lot of casseroles. And to me, I was amazed by this, that such an amazing person could make such amazing food. So I decided I like this, so this is something I might be interested in doing. So when I was younger, I always wanted to travel the world. I always wanted to see Australia, I wanted to see America, I wanted to see Canada, I wanted to see London, I wanted to see Europe. So I thought, how am I going to do this? And cooking, you always need a chef, no matter where you are in the world. Everybody needs to eat. So I lived in a tent. Whenever I left school, I went to a place in Jersey, in the Channel Islands, which is a very, very small island, where I lived in a tent, where I worked in a hotel, and I stayed there for nearly a year. And the head chef then said to me, go and better yourself, go and work in a hotel in London. So I went to work in a hotel in London, called the Savoy Hotel, which is classed as the biggest hotel in the world, still to this day, 5-star hotel, where I learnt a lot. At the start, I had all the crazy jobs going, from peeling veg, chopping veg, but I said to the chef, I wanted to learn, I wanted how to cook. So the chefs developed me and made me a better person and a better cook for me to travel around the world.
That's incredible. You're absolutely dedicated. I can hear that. You've earned your stars for sure. And we truly appreciate you, Paul, coming on our show. And Paul, you've been able to give some of our listeners and viewers quick tips on Kitchen Rockstar Radio, which has been absolutely a blast. We've had a lot of fun with that. We, hope to hear more of your quick tips that you're bringing to us, and have you back on our show.
Oh, no problem. Anytime you want, no problem. Glad to have you.
So, Paul, how can we find you? How can our listeners and viewers get to you and learn more about what you're cooking, some of your recipes, and the whole 9 yards?
Okay, well, I have a page, as we were saying earlier, called Simple, Tasty, Healthy by PW. Not only do I post my food up, and anybody would like a recipe, I would love to help them, or if anybody needs an idea on how to cook a certain dish, please get in touch with me and I'll be glad to help you.
And we're also going to list your links below on our YouTube channel. But for those of you that are listening on Kitchen Rockstar Radio, you can also go to kitchenrockstar.net and find out more about Paul Waters and his journey in his culinary field, and read some of his recipes, learn, and get in contact with you. So again, thank you, Paul. We appreciate you coming on. It's been such a pleasure.
Thanks very much.
All right, we hope to have you back, and thanks again for coming on. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Oh man, I dropped my pig.